Because everyone's like worried about who thinks Trump is going to run for another presidency. It's like the next president is going to get fucked. He's too smart to want to be the next president of the United States, right? Because I don't know if it's in 6 months or 12 months or 3 years, but like, you know, the paid piper is going to get paid and it's going to be painful and the leader is going to get in a lot of trouble. Right.
Why, hello, friends. Welcome to More or Less. And we're all here. Welcome back, Brit and Sam. We missed you.
Hey, Jess.
We're back. Sam's eating again, as usual. And Brit has a bone to pick with Dave Morin. Yes.
Uh-oh. I'm here for it. The floor is yours.
Dear listeners, you might have noticed Sam and I were absent last week. So it was the first time ever that Jess and Dave were one-on-one together.
One-on-one.
And you guys were so nice to me about it. I got so many good notes from people.
I got zero notes. Once again, no notes. I'll assume it was perfection.
People are scared of you in general, Jess.
Yes, carry on.
I'm on my run on Saturday, as I do, and I'm listening to the episode that I missed. And I start hearing Dave bring up, a person sent me AI Work Slop last week, and I got so upset about it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he's referencing me. I sent him this thing. and then it wasn't Work Slop, by the way, to my defense. Here's where Dave and I have a divide, everyone. And I think this is probably happening in marriages and workplaces everywhere. Some of us actually use AI to create good quality things. Others of us, like Dave Morin, believe AI can never produce high quality things, and anything AI produces is work slop.
This is spicy off the bat. Okay.
Dave got a present this week. He got sent a hat with a cute little patch on it from like his hometown in Montana. And he immediately goes, ugh, they clearly used AI to make that patch. I'm not wearing this. So he's just like AI bias on everything.
We have to coin this. What do we have to coin this? Like, it's possible that, Dave, your design aesthetic is a little too nose up in the air on this. Just a little.
It's not possible. It's entirely true.
I think I have a high design bar, first of all. And I will say, it is possible to make a good design with AI. Dave doesn't believe this is true. And this is where the dividing line is.
I'm obviously with Dave on this. Here's the thing.
Thank you, Sam. Please drive this home.
Here's what's going on with all this work bullshit. Here's what happens. As we all know, politics is downstream of culture, and culture is downstream of technology. Culture is just a reaction to a reflection of what's going on with technology. It's what it is. Now, here's the thing. New magical LLM technology comes out. There are two cultural things that happen. One is for lowbrow people and one is for highbrow people. What lowbrow people do is they start talking like the machines. Like they start trying, like, so there's a whole genre of people who are speaking like LLMs. They're imitating the fucking technology. And like, that is what lowbrow people do. What highbrow people do is reject all culture that is machinable to create new culture that is machine resistant in order to express their humanity and react to it. Which is why, for instance, remember, there was a brief moment where everyone thought the AI's written speeches for dinners was like the cutest thing ever. And no thinking person would use AI to write a speech in 2025 because it's just a lowbrow thing to do, right? Now you have to make a speech that clearly AI could not have made to distinguish your humanity and work. And so you just have to understand that, like, yeah, like there's a LLM culture downstream thing.
You're missing the middle of this, Sam. I agree with all of your points. Yes, there is, because the thing that also highbrow people, because I'm not a lowbrow person.
You are a lowbrow. Brit, you might be a lowbrow person.
I am not a lowbrow person. I am highbrow. No, here's the middle.
It's not a criticism. Being lowbrow is not fundamentally a criticism.
When you use AI as a base and then humanly edit on top of it, it's not lowbrow AI. It's not work slop.
Okay, so Brit, we're going to give we're going to respond. What to you made your work product creative, Like, what to you, what was this like? Say more about it, right? Because clearly you can use AI to do things that are slop.
And you think you're highbrow.
I used AI to frame an outline of a strategy. Okay. It helped.
But you're on your second frozen treat exactly 4.5 minutes into this podcast. Sam.
This is mango. The first one was yogurt.
Not on a low sugar diet.
We should totally be brought to you by Yasso Bar. And guys, Sam, I bought the vanilla Greek ones with the chocolate coating shell as a warning.
I don't even know what those are. I guess I'm not highbrow enough.
Jessica started hiding Yasso bars in peas so I don't eat them. Like I'm like, where, like, what's in this pea container? It's like Yasso bars trying to be hidden from me because I'll just eat them all.
Sam's not going to buy it. Guys, I will like.
This is a diversion from our AI work slop, guys.
We're coming back, but I will be like, oh, I just ate dinner. I don't want a Yasso bar. There are 3 left. There's certainly going to be 3 left 45 minutes from now after I put the kids to bed. Bad assumption, Jessica.
Yasso bar does a thing which I respect, which is on every package, they have 2 labels. One is the label per serving, and the other is the label of nutritional facts per box. And I'm a per box eater. I eat 1 box of them at a time. So it's like $500.
Seems totally reasonable.
We have a backup fridge of Yasso bars. Yasso, call me for this podcast. Okay, Brit. So defend yourself.
Here's what Dave doesn't understand. Just because I use AI to outline my thoughts and like a 5-pronged approach, then I use real Brit brain to go and edit all the copy that it had previously like template generated for me. Doesn't mean it's AI work slop. But Dave just assumes it is because.
Did you just respond, Dave? You like one line respond with like slop.
Dave and I get in.
I do actually.
These are our marital debates that night, guys.
No, I will just respond to people now and ask how much AI is in this thing that you just sent me.
But you can't quantify it if it just was like the starting way you templated your thoughts and then you human edit.
I'll tell you I have a funny corollary to this, which I think you'll all really like. So we did our AGM this week, which actually went shockingly well. I don't know why people want to hear us bullshit live, but apparently they do.
I think all listeners know venture firms' annual general meeting for their LPs, a little bit of a song and dance about the portfolio, shall we say, if you will.
A song and dance, if you will, which is honestly not, it was basically a more or less episode, but with my investment partners, and we had a good time. But it turns out, which I love, they keep being like, present less of the companies, and we want you to just extemporaneously bullshit more. We're like, we can do that. That's great. Like, we're totally on board with that. So we got this long, after it, one of my favorite LPs, a lot of us who know, I get this email from her, which is this long, very complimentary, beautiful email about how much she liked the arguments you're making and would I come speak at their internal meeting and present the arguments you're making about AI. And it's this beautiful thing. And I'm like, actually, like, that's really nice that she wrote this like super nice thing. And then I get to the bottom of it and it says, send via my iPhone. And I'm like, and I responded to her like, this is quite a long note to have written on your iPhone, right? And she's like, oh yeah, AI wrote it. I'm like, oh, you just had AI write the like thank you note and the response to me, but you forgot that it says sent on my iPhone and no one's going to type that whole fucking message on an iPhone.
Was she embarrassed or was she like, yeah?
No, of course not. Who cares? I don't care. I still thought it was a very flattering note, but it was one of those things where I was like, wow, that was a very nice note.
Are you still flattered or are you less, has your flattered level gone down?
I am still flattered, but less flattered because like I want to know what the prompt was. It was like stroke Sam's ego, invite him to this event.
She might have edited some of the words on top of it, though.
You can give the slop, but you have to show your prompt.
Right, so it's kind of like I envision it being like, imagine it's the Middle Ages because it kind of is again. It's like medieval times, and you go to like your local jester town crier, and you're like, go to the castle over and bless the person and explain how great they are and then invite them to dinner. And then like the jester shows up and is like, and says a bunch of stuff and there's a great song and dance. You're like, wow, jester, that was a great song and dance. But like, you're still happy the nobleman sent the jester, but like, it's not the same as if they wrote it themselves.
The effort's worth something,
This is another good example of this that's hilarious from this week is I'm working on this product and the product team's meeting every 2 days. I couldn't go to the product meeting yesterday because there was a memorial in the city for Enrique Allen from the Designer Fund. There's now he died a year ago, and there's a bench that has been put into the San Francisco Botanical Garden with his name on it, which is pretty great.
No one donated a bench when I die.
He wanted it, actually. He asked for it.
That's great. I'm glad he wanted it, but just registering for the podcast.
I don't think you're at a high risk of that, Sam, but good to put people on alert.
I'm on the call today. They had another call today because there was a lot talked about. And I get on the call and everyone says, that was really nice of you to send your bot to the call yesterday. And I said, what bot? And they were like, your Zoom bot came to the call. We thought you were just on it. And I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden, the Zoom bot joins the Google Hangout that I'm in with this team, right? Because this team uses Google Hangouts. And I'm like, I don't even know where this bot is coming from.
That's scary.
So the bots are here and they just join things. And it was funny because I got the email last night from the bot being like, here's everything that was talked about yesterday. And I thought they had sent it to me. So I got on this call today and I'm like, hey guys, thanks for sending me those notes. And they're like, your bot sent the notes. And I'm like, what? Like, how did I didn't even know I had a Zoom bot.
So as a reporter, this freaks me out. Whose bots are lurking in our editorial chats?
I didn't even know Zoom had bots.
What do you mean they're constantly joining meetings?
But not Zoom ones. People have bots from Otter and like a lot of other things.
Yeah, there's Zoom ones now.
Oh, well, I didn't know that until today.
What's the etiquette? Can you decline a bot request, right? You can. Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you have granola.
I just told them, whoever's the admin, can you please just debot this? Yeah.
I actually, you know what I want to do, which I've never done, but I'm going to do now this week, is if you're bored with a meeting, you're like, I'm going to leave, but I'm going to leave granola running and I'll catch you. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, I'm going to leave, but the bot's going to stay. So if you want to say more shit, the bot's here for you, you know?
I'm into it.
I've thought of doing that. There are meetings I just can't make. And I'm like, would a recording be so bad? But
I'm a big fan of just leaving meetings. I do that frequently.
You've also done that on the pod, Sam. We know.
I'm going to do it today because I have somewhere to be, but I still have time for now.
oh, good. We've got you. Okay. This brings up one of the headlines of the week, the Atlas browser. So OpenAI first reported in the information 11 months ago and 32 seconds, but who's counting? Reported they're working on a browser. So they launched it. It's called Atlas. It is only available. I've just been too slammed ahead of my event next week to try it out yet. Brit, I'm hoping one of you two Morins tried it out.
I've tried it out.
I downloaded it, but then it asked for my Google account and two-factor auth, and that's like way too complicated. So it took me a while.
I did like full kimono. I just connected all the things. It knows everything about me now.
My bot's going to get inside your bot over there. But tell me.
That's what she said.
Here's the thing I'm struggling with this Atlas browser. I ran a test where I had connected everything into the OpenAI browser, Atlas.
Just what they want.
I signed in with my OpenAI account, obviously. And then I started using it like I would use ChatGPT in my Google Chrome browser. And it was hallucinating way more. It didn't have like a lot of memory stored about all the things I had talked to it about. Mm. And so I don't know if this is a bug or what's happening, but definitely a far worse ChatGPT experience, at least. And the browser itself was fine and it can summarize stuff for you. I haven't gone much deeper than that.
We should release a more or less bot.
Just what everyone wants.
Bot or browser?
Just have the more or less bot just start joining meetings all over the valley. Hey, can we just like sit in on your meeting and get fodder for ourselves? It's not a bad idea.
They're going to love it. Dave, what's your take?
I installed it. I love ChatGPT. I'm like a big fan. They're great at product. I was confused a little bit by the experience. I tried to get it going. To Sam's first question, I immediately tried to figure out if it was Chromium or not.
It's got to be.
It is Chromium.
Which is the open source root of Chrome? Is that, how would you describe that? Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to know if the extensions work. Like I've written a bunch of extensions for myself that I use every day, and I wanted to be able to put those in there. I couldn't figure it out. And I also couldn't exactly figure out how the use case works. I can't describe to you what the use case is of how the browser works, other than that it shows you ChatGPT in the window to the right, and then you can click like a single button to summarize an article, but all that does is pull the current URL into it. It just pulls it into the sidebar and then says, summarize this. And then, so it's really not, it's not that much value on top of the just using it in another window.
Aren't there supposed to be agents? Aren't there supposed to be agents that do things for you?
I'm not sure. I didn't see that. That's as far as I got. And then I went back to Chrome because I had a lot of work to do yesterday. And I just like,
I kind of just want to use it and just like look at a ton of porn and see what it does. Just like summarize this. I just think it'd be very funny to be like,
you go, you have a great time. Sam Altman has said they're gonna make ChatGPT erotica friendly. So
yeah, exactly, Sam. Since it's going to be erotica friendly, you need to teach it all of your preferences.
I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. That's going to be a classic middle road thing because the world of like, I don't know. I can't. Erotica is like a very broad concept, right? And I have a hard time imagining that like OpenAI will be willing to go where like Grok will be willing to go with it effectively. And the middle ground will just be weird. We'll see. These are the important questions given how people actually use the internet.
Isn't this just a ploy for them to get like more data from you to just make your profile?
Yeah, this is about building up memory. It's about building memory. It's like very clear. I mean, that is the one thing that I read.
And to avoid getting locked out, right? I mean, I remember I was standing at the Austin airport after a South by Southwest, I don't know, more than a decade long, like 15 years ago, when I got the call that confirmed that Google was launching Chrome. And this was a big deal. Like now we take it for granted, but their decision to enter this browser wars was a big deal. And I broke the story at the Journal. And I remember it was perceived to be a big story because it was like we're going to control our own destiny. We're going to go deeper into the stack, all that kind of stuff. And they did. And people were very skeptical of it back then. So maybe we'll learn from that.
Here's my question. Are you guys still using Sora or is that over?
I'm still using it every now and then, but just for fun, creative stuff.
What social product has worked with an every now and then early adopter?
Threads.
Cadence.
Threads.
Threads was built by virtue of a gigantic repeated sledgehammer.
I'm just saying, we all used Threads every now and then in the first month.
I still use Threads, and Threads is going. I think Sora. My season of Sora is over. That was like a. I mean, I understand it's still probably number one in the free app store or something, but like, it's not going to work. It's like that's not an important thing. It had its moment. It's more of a. What was the thing where everyone made themselves into comics for like a minute?
It was Can of Soup.
No. I'm thinking of the one with the one that blew up OpenAI for like a week.
Studio Ghibli.
Ghibli. It's a Ghibli. It's fine. Everyone's over it.
I bet they add improvements though, and it gets like they get another hook on the line.
It's just a signpost. It's a signpost on the way, you know?
I don't know. I anticipate they're going to do more with it and to stay tuned.
I think they're going to try. I think they're definitely going to try.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, they're going to try all the things.
It's an expensive experiment.
Not really.
No, it is. It is very expensive.
You know, compared to what they're spending on other shit, it's like this shit's all rounding errors.
Well, but they're spending way too much that they don't have. So spending a lot of stuff on that when, you know.
Yeah, but like in for a penny, in for a pound. It's like whatever. It's like no one cares what the cost of this stuff. They have so many product managers. They're hiring all the product people. And then you have to give them things to do or they get sad. And so you end up doing more things because you've hired all the people and you can't have them do nothing and they all want to do different things. So you end up with more products. It's how Facebook ended up for a while with like a weather app.
Yeah, but those used to be things that cost you one engineer and like no compute. And now they're things that maybe have you 5 engineers.
Cost you half an engineer and shitloads of compute.
And shitloads. I mean,
but they're going to buy the compute anyway. If anything, they want the utilization to go up on the compute so it doesn't look stupid.
Well, but so there was some shifting gears a little bit. There were some interesting headlines this week. And I got to say, Sam Altman owes me a beer because a couple of months ago, we reported that they were looking seriously at TPUs. So TPUs are a competitor to NVIDIA's chips made by Google. Story was 1,000% accurate. But there was this weirdness after the story. Like they didn't deny it publicly, but then there was all this weirdness. So instantly I was like, ooh, Jensen not happy. meaning, NVIDIA is not happy to learn in the information that OpenAI is looking at TPUs. Well, Burbage, a great reporter at the Wall Street Journal, who used to work at The Information, this week had a great story that sort of pieced together the backstory of the NVIDIA deal, which was Jensen seeing that news published and immediately calling Sam Altman and immediately striking the deal that they announced recently for, this huge investment, NVIDIA covering some of the cost, so on and so forth. So I think it's you have to let us reporters enjoy our inside baseball moments here, but such an interesting window into how desperately NVIDIA is going after that business. And
I keep wanting to buy Google stock, but it's just very difficult.
I was lying awake last night thinking of my 2026 predictions, as one does. And there's a TPU story.
There's a huge TPU story
that's rising. And if you look, the top, Gemini 3 is coming out soon, getting great reviews from people who see it in the wild, getting great reviews on coding, I hear. If that's true, then the top 2 coding models, Gemini and Anthropic, are trained on TPUs, not GPUs.
Yep.
And I think that's a really big deal.
We love them. We're investors in Grok. We love TPUs.
I don't know, but it's like hard to buy the stock. It's like a $3 trillion price tag, and they do have some liability on the search side. But it's so tempting because you're just like, you guys are gonna win it. I don't think people understand how dominant they are.
Well, I'm not making any buy-sell recommendations, and I don't hold any individual stocks. But the TPU story is a big deal. But what I was going to say, as I think back to OpenAI and Sora, a gigawatt of compute is about $1 billion a year, roughly. So if OpenAI is going from 1.5 to 3, right, that is $45 billion a year that it's going to have to spend on compute. That's a lot of money. And the amazing thing about OpenAI is that they found a way. They're raising it.
So far.
They're striking novel arrangements that, financial arrangements. They're getting investment from their partners. But you play that out. And I mean, even an IPO, which again, you could be on different sides of how the public markets would view them right now. I tend to think the public markets would view them very favorably right now. But IPOs don't raise $45 billion, right?
No, they're running out of the money. I mean, I think they
really are. But I'm sort of tipping my hat on something I'm very interested in from a reporting perspective, because they're smart. So I know they at least think they have plan ABC for how to get the money, but that is a very big, the big tech companies have the cash to do these huge CapEx expenditures, which may be stupid or may not, depending on the ROI after many years. But OpenAI has to come up with this money every year. And the numbers are getting pretty big fast. I think what will happen is these guys will scale down. Well, they might have to spend less on compute. They might have to rethink what's going to research, what's going to the commercial business, because that is just a staggering amount of money. What do you guys think?
How long will that be the case, though? Have you reported just on the implications of cost?
The cost? I don't know, but these things don't move. You're building out this capacity ahead of time too, right? I mean, the interesting thing is, I think people make a mistake, and NVIDIA has another developer conference next week, but they make a mistake thinking that a TPU or a Trainium or from Amazon or something a company develops itself has to be as good as NVIDIA. It doesn't, because NVIDIA's margin is so big. It can actually be a fraction of as good as NVIDIA and still cost effective. So to your point, Brit, maybe there's cost savings to be there, but that 15 billion per gigawatt is kind of the number I hear thrown around in the industry is kind of like the cost of doing business. So yeah, of course it can change.
I just think that's what everyone is banking on, right? I don't know if it's in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but clearly that's the story.
But even the next 2 or 3 years, that's a lot of money for OpenAI to come up with.
Yeah, I think it's just like everyone's YOLOing this one and hoping for Kurt. I don't think that anyone I think they're just, they've proven amazing at raising capital. They're incredible storytelling.
Yeah.
The early storytelling was fear-mongering.
And they have an incredibly successful product and great models. I mean,
to a point. It's just like an interesting, I mean, like when you get into like it's interesting. I was actually with some very smart people last night having dinner from places that are relevant. And, they were going through the math on all this stuff and what you justify. They're like, well, but only customer service. We have all the customer service. Here's the money from it. Like, that's not how this works. It's like if everyone has the same improved customer service, it just ratchets the competition up, right? And those numbers get passed back to you. You don't get to just like take all the money that was spent on customer service and be like, well, now we get that money. That's not how this works. And so people's math is like pretty wacky right now in terms of justifying what's happening. And it's very, I mean, to me, the best, I was in New York this last week, and my kind of favorite, I'm actually quite annoyed that it's not a Sam line. It's like, I'm like annoyed I didn't come up with this. I can't take credit for it though. It's someone's like, yeah, it's just Pascal's wager. Everyone's just playing Pascal's wager, right? Which is basically, Pascal's wager is effectively, there's either a god or there's not a god. But if there is a god, even if there's like a 0.00001% chance there is, the reward is huge. And if there is, the reward of believing is huge, and the cost of not believing is massive. So you might as well just believe in God, because like it's so asymmetric is like basically what it comes down to. And like there's a bunch of rebuttals to it throughout history, but that's exactly what's happening here. Is everyone's just making Pascal's wager. The difference is, in Pascal's wager, the cost is effectively zero, because like, what's the cost of belief? It's like, it's personal. In this case, the cost is just different to different players. Like, I'd argue the cost for meta of belief isn't that high. No one really cares what they can fork over a few years of cash flow, right? Like, investors will look the other way. They'll be like an Oculus. They'll be mad for a minute, but get over it, right? Whereas like, if you're NVIDIA, like, or OpenAI, you have a very different math on like what belief costs, right?
I also think there have been all these sort of incentives and macroeconomic things that have encouraged the spending. Yep. And I think they'll probably go for another year if you think of like the midterms.
I think it's longer. I mean, we've not talked about this a bunch. It's really the 7% GDP thing. Like, if you really want to go what's going on here, without the AI story, we'd be in a very weird place economically. Trump wants 7% growth because that's what you need to get out of the debt overhang. We're not going to get 7% growth. Maybe get 4 with AI. Like, it doesn't hurt, right? So basically, there's all these incentives starting from our kind of new mercantilist system for everyone to get in line with the like plow money into Chinese housing for computers, right? And like, it's kind of okay. My theory is it's going to go on as long as there's a prayer of economy stay strong, right? And by the way, my kind of line on this recently is everyone's like worried about who thinks Trump is going to run for another presidency. It's like the next president is going to get fucked, right? Like, the next president is going to be dealing with this ridiculous situation. Like, there's no chance. He's too smart to want to be the next president of the United States, right? Because I don't know if it's in 6 months or 12 months or 3 years, but like, the paid piper is going to get paid, and it's going to be painful, and the leader is going to get in a lot of trouble, right?
It's going to be wild. But I think next year is still going to be some YOLOing for all of those.
100%. The YOLO continues.
The YOLO lives on. 2026, the year of the YOLO. Awesome. Well, what else was cooking? So we had a major AWS outage. Did anyone's 8 sleep get disrupted by AWS? Dave, share your trauma with us.
No, that's it. I couldn't understand why. No, I woke up and I was like, why can't I change the temperature? It's too hot. Like, and I just didn't understand what's going on. And then I just went back to sleep.
Do you think someday in the future there'll be an AWS outage and like we'll all be cooked in our sheets like a frog?
This is how they're going to get us. They're going to boil the techies slowly.
The AI will eventually kill us all by slowly baking us in our beds with our 8 sleeps.
Or like refusing to shut off our red lights or something. Like there's
so many ways to kill someone with an AWS outage now. It's great.
It's wild.
That's going to be their vector of attack.
It was, I don't know how big a deal it is. It's a pain in the ass. Our groceries didn't arrive. Like, I was like, what? Where are groceries? AWS outage. But do people care anymore? Is this a thing?
Not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, it's still shocking to me that a system that large and complex can go down, quote unquote. Like, how is that possible? Is it like the whole thing runs through a single load balancer, and if that load balancer goes down?
Well, that was the story of Twitter. Remember Twitter? There was this whole like scandal, which was hilarious, that all of Twitter was tied to like one Mac Mini that was running in their office. They had like a Mac Mini doing some cron job, and like apparently, like it was like literally like you take off a Mac Mini and the whole thing falls over. It's a great story. I'm probably getting it slightly wrong, but it's still great.
Yeah. At the same time, I saw somebody talking earlier this week about, I think it's GitHub Pages. It's like this massive. It's like 2 million websites run on this thing.
I use it for a ton of stuff. I love GitHub Pages.
And apparently GitHub Pages was on 2 or 3 servers and something like a single file. It's like a single 1 million line file. And it scaled to like extremely large just on that. And the guy's point was like, guys, we overcomplicate everything. Like this worked really well for like 10 years.
I love GitHub Pages. It can be one file. I don't care.
Are there financial repercussions to Amazon for the outage for all of the companies? Well,
what do you mean by repercussions? Did they lose money? Yes.
Like a lot of revenue was lost for a lot of companies.
Not
during
that much,
those
probably.
12 hours.
The whole thing about one-time hits, they don't really matter. Like anyone, it's like, I think this is the same thing with like these outages, a lot of things is like systemic things people care about. One-time hits, though, it's just, whether you're spending $100 billion you shouldn't have spent on a data center, or you go down for a day or whatever, like the market's like whatever. That was like in the past, that happened once. If you have to start baking the model, which is like it's gonna go down every 5 days, that's a totally different story. But like,
yeah,
I just don't think anyone cares. It's like, it's kind of funny, and like you move on.
So is that what's going on with the crypto and gold flash crash, Sam?
Is there a flash crash going on right now?
Well, no, it's been like the last week. Like crypto had like an enormous liquidation on a Friday.
Across all.
Gold is crashing today.
I don't know. It's like market go up, market go down. Who cares? The only question is like how much leverage.
These are big swings though. I mean, crypto swung 30-40%.
It matters a lot if you're a trader. It doesn't matter a lot if you're an investor. I mean, like I think that this is like, if this is why like I'm always tempted to use leverage on things, because it's just so tempting. Like I love the asymmetry is amazing. And there's a lot of people doing like very degenerate trading games all over the place with a ton of leverage. And then when the leverage gets unwound, you have these like wild swings. But I just like in the fullness of time, that just seems like a little like staccato over the fundamental trends. And like, you just don't look at your net worth every day.
Sam, that reminds me of, it's unrelated, but your tweets you've really been on fire on X lately. A lot of proclamations. Well, the latest one was...
Have you figured out if you're shadow banned yet or not?
I probably shadow banned.
The latest one. Oh, billionaires want to be philosophers and philosophers want to be billionaires. What give us the thinking behind this one.
I mean, the real question is, are you in the process of losing your screenshot essay advantage? Like it seems like the advantage is unwinding as we speak.
Well, no advantage lasts forever, Dave. You always need a new tactic. I mean, I think that, look, when I was originally doing the screenshot essay thing was very unique. A lot of people have moved in that direction. The feed ranking has changed from when they used to promote the shit out of photos. Right? So like, I think that's part of it. But look, I mean, I had my most viral tweet ever last week. So like, it's not like I don't still got it.
Yeah, you want to read it in a dramatic tone for us?
Yes.
Well, I'd have to pull it up, but I was calling Mr.Beast's content manual slop.
Oh, was that last week? That feels like...
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. We talked about this.
That was a great tweet. I think it had all the hallmarks of a great tweet. But and it also is just true, which is kind of the core, is you need something that's spicy and fundamentally true. So that one did well.
Let's return to slop for a second. Dave, as the anti-slop police among the crowd, with Sam as your deputy, but we'll give you the sheriff's badge. What does one do with their lives and their productivity to be on the anti-slop side? How does one stay immune from this virus?
I mean, I think the question is actually about work product versus thinking, right? Like, it's a great thinking partner.
Brit's face. Brit is usually very stoic.
Because how can you tell? Dave doesn't know how much thinking was put into it. He just agrees if there's any AI, it's all slop.
No, it's the actual writing itself, Brit, or like the logo that you create.
Because Dave is the arbiter of writing, Brit.
It's the writing. I mean, Brit, the example that I gave last episode was one where there was a specific bullet point that the context was actually wrong. And so it created a 15 to 20 minute or maybe longer debate and conversation, which was energy lost in our.
Your AI is costing money, Brit. People's time is valuable.
Yeah, it's like if you have to debate a point where the context was literally lost and everybody was confused, like that's a problem, right? And in fact, there's a bunch of science. I think there's, I'll have to go find it, but there's been a few papers produced about the sort of cognitive overload that these models are creating because they create so much content so quickly and sort of lead you down a rabbit hole. Your brain can't keep up with like the context on top of context. And so you think you're learning something new, or you think you've had a breakthrough idea. But if you ask somebody to then explain it, they can't explain it because the cognitive overhang is so large from using the thing. And so that's, to me, the equivalent of what happens when you start with a simple prompt, generate this very long thing, like what Sam was saying, and then hand it over to somebody. It's like, it's beyond what you actually meant to communicate, and you couldn't re-explain it to them if they asked you. And so that's where it becomes problematic in trying to sense make as a group in the world. And so like that's to me the thing that I guess I'm the most focused on, which is like any team that you're working on, you're trying to make sense of the world together.
No, I'm just trying to tell them what to do.
I think it's so good at summarization. Like, and I think that can be an anti-slop. Like, so next week I'm hosting a women's conference, WTF in Napa. And I really, we're interviewing everyone from Paris Hilton to the CTO of Netflix to Dina Powell and lots of great people. I hate an agenda with like rambly titles. Agenda titles tend to ramble because you're going to have a sort of multi-step conversation. So everyone puts like colon, the next phase or something. Yep. And I let it fly for 7 years. I'm like, this is the year I'm going to put the hammer down on titles. And there were maybe half of them kind of came to me, and the other half I'd struggle. And ChatGPT was you'll be able to actually tell there's ones like, oh, this was obviously written by ChatGPT. But I'm like, it's a good title. And it was so useful because, I should be preparing for my 13 interviews. I should be preparing for my keynote. I should not be wordsmithing each character. But I did want to kind of punch it up a little bit. I think it's also leads to a better talk to have like a focused gist. And AI was great. I don't know if that's slop. Is that slop?
No, but that's like the irony of the whole thing, right? Is the things AI is good at is like take thing, expand, make longer, and take thing, make shorter. Like, yeah, it's great at both of those. You end up fighting each other.
It's literally what it is. That's what's so funny. Like AI is literally a giant, it's like compression. It's like compressing the entire internet, right? Like,
yeah, it's great. It's great. But it's just really funny because you basically have this like war of attrition where you have all these people making more, and then everyone's like on the other side like making less, and the net impact of it is zero, right? Like, and like that's kind of like it.
But Brit, I don't want to crimp your AI style here. I say you do you, and just be mindful that there are those people out there who are going to be judging it.
I'm not saying I'm a person, a lowbrow person, as Sam calls it, that just accepts the first thing AI gives me and expands it into 5 paragraphs. I'm saying I would take the 5 paragraphs, think about, they made a few good points here, and then collapse that with my human brain back into like the short, simple version that I would then pass along.
But do you write the entire thing?
Yes.
Or do you let ChatGPT write entire paragraphs?
I often in GPT open up the document pane and like literally use it like a Google Doc. Like I'm editing the text, I'm moving things around. I'm like literally editing content. And I just don't think that's slop.
I'm not going to lie. I just think this is like a boring conversation. It's like, do whatever you want. Like ultimately.
And the floor is yours, Sam. Where should we go next?
It's just boring. It's like do what you want. It's obvious a thing everyone has access to. You're not proving anything by having access to it. Like that's not cool. It's like, I care about what you can bring to the table that I couldn't just get from the machine itself. It's like, cool looking logos and fonts were super cool when they were hard to make, and now they're super stupid because they're easy to make, and like culture will move on, right? Like that's kind of what it is.
I don't disagree. So Sam, what's cooking? What do you see? Okay, Dave wants to stay here.
Well, no, will culture move on? I mean, I had these like 2 conversations last week that I thought were kind of interesting where I ran into a friend in the city and he works at a large SaaS company, was kind of describing his life working, in he's the VP of partnerships for a large SaaS company. He's like, I work from 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. every day.
Brutal.
The firm is constantly doing riffs based on replacing parts of the the org with AI. Brit and I were, then we were doing family photos for Christmas and we were talking to the photographer.
Can I get a hint?
Not AI.
Yeah.
It's not AI themed.
Well, but he had a sad story. He was like, I'm trying to figure out like what business I need to get into because like my business is gone.
Well, I agree with all that.
And so like the creatives, and the same goes for almost every designer that I've talked to.
They're going to have to up their game and be more creative. Like, and the most creative ones will. You can't be mid-creative anymore. That's the thing.
Yeah. This guy's like top creative though, Sam. Like
he's photographed Taylor Swift, Sam.
So, like, he's either a great creative and he'll come up with a new way to be creative, or he's not, and like he's a picture taker and he moves on. I just don't I don't know. It's like, I just think that's like the way these things go. Is like it's the temperature rises, you get paid less for just technically performing anything, right? Or anything. It's like if you were amazing at Photoshop, you're the best make boobs bigger Photoshop person in the world. Guess what? You're gonna have to find a new way to be creative, right? Like that's just what it is, right? Like that skill is no longer a thing. That doesn't mean you're a bad
Why
person.
is that your example?
What I'm just saying is like, what's the most visceral?
I think it's going in the other direction, Sam.
Well, that's actually, honestly, that's kind of the point, Jess, which is like, if it's too easy to make big boobs, then small boobs will become popular. Like, if it's too easy, no, that's like how this works. If it's
Brit, this is normal. This surprises you?
All right. No, he was gone last week. I was gone.
If it's too easy to like be skinny because of Ozempic, being fat will be cool. Like, it's just like, that's like how, like, that is like the whole way culture works, right? Is like people react and either reject or double down on the technology. And in general, the lowbrow thing is to try to imitate the technology, and the highbrow thing is to reject the technology to prove your unique humanness, right? Like it's not that, so we'll find a new standard of beauty, which is harder to attain or more committal, right? We'll find like new whatever. Like that's just, I'm bored of it. It's like, we understand how this works.
Sam has solved all problems.
It's too easy to make hats, so you fucking print them upside down because that's cool or something. Like it's not like.
Well, this gets me. I think I brought this up. I brought this up before, but guys, I think swag is dead.
Really?
It's too easy to make.
I think this is it. And I'm definitely going to sign an article on this. So apologies to the people who will then read this.
What do you mean by swag? Do you mean like at conferences, or do you think merch? You think the world is over merched?
A little bit of all of both. So I think I proclaimed on this pod that the absolutely fabulous Google Zeitgeist conference surprised me with no swag. And upon hearing that, and no notes on the conference, by the way, it was excellent. This isn't criticism. Then a listener texted me, oh, the fashion shows, well, obviously don't know about those, are forgoing their sort of fancy post parties and just handing out bottled water. Interesting. Then
plastic straight to your bloodstream.
I'm interviewing Paris Hilton next week, who, is many things, including the owner of one of the most highly valued female-run media businesses in the world, if not the most high.
What's the size of it now? 1111 Media.
I think $1 billion.
But
yeah. I have to check that with Oprah. I don't know how Oprah's
Harpo and Hello Sunshine and yeah.
Well, Hello Sunshine, I don't think counts anymore.
That's not worth a billy.
Unfortunately, maybe one day.
At one point it did.
What drives all of this revenue?
Licensing. She has like 60 brands that she's licensed. Child clothes, fashion brands, all kinds of things.
Okay, but here's my point. I have this is my third data point. And she's on a podcast, and someone is like thanking her, Emma, on the Aspire podcast, for like gifting all this product. And she says people don't gift anymore.
Yes.
Wait, so gifting's not in the
No, I think gifting is back. I'm with you, Jess.
Well, so this is the thing. Gifting. So this is like Paris is on her 30th perfume. And so she like sends 6 bottles to Emma, who's, a huge influencer. Her husband is the co-founder of Skims, all of this stuff. Emma Green. So Emma was sort of like my read on that. And I should actually like email her before I put words in her mouth. But was basically like, I used to have these things at my doorstep all the time of people launching new stuff. And you, Paris, and your perfume stood out because that had kind of stopped. But I think a different kind of gifting, like the one-on-one gifting, is through the roof.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's like, you host someone for a conference or a nice dinner, and all of a sudden you're not getting flowers, you're getting a Scotch set, ice maker, crystal tumbler, extravaganza.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why it's happening. I think Jess is totally right. Couldn't agree more. Here's why, Dave. Because it's hard to do well. And like, if it's shit we all get, no one wants to be part of we all. Like, no one gives a shit. But
see, I do understand culture. Okay.
I'm with you, Jess. We're there. We completely agree on this. But like the whole, what's hard and time consuming and expensive? Super personalized custom gifts. That means that I know you and I've thought of you. And I have an army of assistants and buyers to like fulfill. And
we have a gifting assistant that also knows you and has thought of you.
There's like probably less than 100 people in this town that have a bunch of buyers for their gifts.
That's exactly the point, which is I'm proving my power, wealth, taste, and insight.
Can I tell you the number one gift I get gifted from fancy people?
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I actually would prefer not to be gifted this because I have too many now. Orchids. They all send orchids. I have so many orchids in my house, and I can't take care of them.
That's a little like...
How do you know that it's personalized?
An orchid is very 18 months ago, to be honest.
It's personalized books.
What? What if they're giving the same book to everybody?
No. It can't be. No way.
How do you know?
Because it has to be personal story. It has to be like, I know that you're interested in blah, blah. Here's a first edition of blah, blah.
What if that's just gift slop? What if they just ask ChatGPT what book to send you?
No, guys, this is my lived experience. Okay.
I have to go. I love you all. Bye.
I wanted to thank someone for inviting me to something. And this person loves books. So at first I was like, okay, what are the hot books of the moment? And like, there's a new Chanel book out, all the like fancy, expensive coffee table books. So I was like, I don't have time to think about this. I ordered one on Amazon. I get back from this event. I look at this book and I'm like, this person isn't going to want this book. I don't want this book. So I'm at like a Hudson News flying back from New York to San Francisco. I'm like browsing the bookstore and I almost missed my flight because I was reading the back of like every single book, trying to find like, what do I think this person will actually enjoy? And I haven't had like extended reading conversations with this person. She's gifted me some great books, but I was like, I am gonna, and one just like really resonated with me for some reason. It was like it was like a paperback. Like it's not even a substantial like volume that feels like something, but I just sent it to her. I have no idea. If you're listening to the pod,
does the delivery message matter? Like, does the method matter? Like, is it that you get it in the mail? Do you have to be handed it? Like,
I mean, I just made sure it would get to her, like, because, these people have good, like close assistants.
A handwritten note is nice though, I would say.
But I had to explain why. And I was like, I haven't read the book. So I was like, can't vouch for, the plot or whatever, but at bare minimum, it's going to give you a pulse on like how the world is thinking about this topic that you care a lot about in this moment. And I don't know, I felt like pretty good about it. I Amazon returned the Chanel book. If anyone it looks nice, but I'm like, and it's interesting because it was a fair, it was like the good kind of effort, right? Like it wasn't totally time consuming, but And I hope it's like, that is the stuff that is meaningful, I think. And it's just different from the days of like, sending all the chocolates or all the candles or all the soap to all the people. So I'm very interested to see this holiday season and the risk of this being an obnoxious conversation, but we do talk about culture in Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Is this like a broad cultural thing, or do you think this is a Silicon Valley culture thing? It's like Silicon Valley becoming Hollywood, because like this is what I used to hear that Hollywood does all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think what's interesting is the shift, right? The shift from like, there are days, and you guys have gone to all these conferences too, and you come back with like 2 tote bags of shit, right? And like some of it's cool, some of it's not, but like there was getting to be this whole culture around like the swag being the event. So I think dialing back that is like a really healthy thing. And I bet some of these brands are like socially conscious, and there's some of like the wastefulness element. But I think Sam's right too. Like there are, and he would know, guys, he's running an etiquette school in case you haven't heard. But anyway, that was my whole digression. So are you not going to
have swag at the WTF event next week? There are no tote bags?
Brit, we have swag, but I went through, we have swag because a lot of our partners want to give it out, right? So brands who work and advertise. And so that's great. And for like the information swag, we're going with the t-shirt. We're not going with a fleece lined blanket shirt from the Himalayan mountains or whatever, we just I was like, I want a comfy t-shirt with a cool logo.
Is it a good quality?
I have not seen said swag, but I was I felt like that sort of arms race of, is it the ultra plush hooded lined, cowlick neck kind of thing. And it was so funny. My head of events, Amy, who is the best in the world, was like, you really want a t-shirt? I'm like, yep, a t-shirt. And she kept sending me like long sleeve shirts. I'm like, Amy, you're going to go running in it. You're going to hit the gym with it. And you're going to think back to this amazing conference. So there will be other fun stuff from all of our partners, because that is part of why some of them, we have this whole WTF shop experience. So we'll have pop-up stores and like all that kind of stuff. But I didn't feel the need to, give the blanket or whatever. But we'll see. People might be unhappy. So we will see. Anything else cooking, Morins, before we digress from my book shopping habits?
I'm excited to come to the event. We've got Halloween following.
Brit, you're a great staple. You're a heckler in chief.
Oh, yeah.
Heckler in chief.
49ers are crushing. So are the Warriors.
Oh, the Warriors. Yeah, we care about sports in our family.
We watched the 49ers game.
Oh, good. Okay. Sam made it sound like you don't care, like the Lessons don't care about football or basketball.
Sam was not watching the game. Sam was not sort of in it.
Yeah, let's be clear. Just like sports.
I know.
I do like sports. I also follow tennis all year long. Like, it is amazing what is still happening.
I love, well, as you should. You own Racket now, so you have to. I mean, you're an investor, whatever. You own partially Racket.
I am in the biz, but it is like, the internet is just great. Tennis threads. Dave, are you on Threads these days? Tennis threads is very good.
No.
Dave's off the socials, Jess.
Still.
Mm-hmm. He's staying strong.
Prediction 2026, Dave. No, I don't know. I think you're content.
I don't think he's coming back. I think he's staying course. Right, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we should get into 26 predictions soon, though. It's almost November.
I'm so there. I'm ready to predict everything. It's sort of this, like, everything in this notebook that we've not been able to confirm becomes a prediction when the clock strikes midnight,
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I think there's going to be
there's a little bit of truth to that. Maybe we hold 10% back, but okay, friends. Well, it has been another great episode. Glad to have the whole crew back, at least for a moment, until Sam left us. And we will see you back here next week for another episode of More or Less. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
If you enjoyed this show, please leave us a virtual high five by rating it and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Find more information about each episode in the show notes and follow us on social media by searching for @MoreOrLess, @DaveMorin, @Lesson, @JLesson, and as for me, I'm @Brit. See you guys next time.